garden people, welcome back to another video here at the end of July 2023. It's good to be back here with you all. As I mentioned in my last video, last month Kyle and I left for a week to go to Kauai with his family, and I was really worried that when we'd come back to Portland it would be gray and rainy and cold, and that would make the adjustment that much more difficult. But since we've gotten back at the end of June, it has just been sunny and warm almost every single day. I keep thinking about how sunny it is compared to what I remember June of last year being, which was just so rainy and so gray. We were like wondering if we were ever going to get summer, and this June and July has just been the complete opposite. Very sunny and very hot. Typically July is one of our sunnier months and one of our months with the least amount of rain. As far as I can remember, we've only had like 1 or 2 days of rain, so even less than normal. Since we've gotten back from our trip, I've been trying to spend at least a little time every day out here in the garden observing what's going on and taking note of what flowers are blooming. Are they blooming earlier than they were last year? What pests are we noticing, or things like that. It's something that I haven't done before, but that I think going forward will be really helpful to be able to kind of look back and have a record of like when things first started to bloom, or just any other things that you're noticing happening in the garden. I've been using a special journal called the Green Witches Garden Journal, I think is what it's called. It's based off the book The Green Witch's Garden, and it's like a companion journal that goes along with it. And I'm thinking that I'll make a separate video that's kind of like a midway year check-in, separate from this garden tour. Just talks a little bit more about the journaling process and what that journal includes, and then also maybe talks a little bit more about like the general kind of garden planning and checking in on the goals that I set for us at the beginning of the year. So stay on the lookout for that. I can't wait to show you all how things are growing, and the garden is just looking really lush and a lot more colorful. We've got some flowers in bloom, tons of green foliage and all of that. So with that, I think we can go ahead and get started on the tour. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm also going to start off with some watering because I haven't done that today. So let's get started with that. Alright, so let's get the rest of this tour started. Here's a look at how things are doing from this side of the yard. We are joined by Beep. I just wrangled her into the backyard again. And also Luca, who is on the other side. Ooh! Are you being cute? Overall, things are going well. Starting off here in this bed, I still haven't noticed any sign of the begonia flowers yet, so I'll have to come take a closer look, but it could just be something like maybe the squirrels got to them or something like that, so we'll have to see if those end up coming in. Over here, the hosta flowers are pretty dry at this point. Probably come and deadhead some of these. And the honeysuckle has been blooming. We're seeing the honeybird, I say that all the time. We are seeing the hummingbirds a lot in the yard, which is really cool. And also these little like red berry looking things. I think I noticed them last year and I still don't know what they are, but anyway, we've also got some gladiolas in bloom. And again, I purposefully planted the gladiolus next to the honeysuckle so that the hummingbird could, have a little bit of that, a little of this. I put some of this here too, but so far they're not very interested in it. So this is what the flower bed is looking like. You can see very lush. All of these tall, spiky things are the gladiolus flowers, and they're all throughout the garden bed. I planted a few more bulbs, gladiolus bulbs this year, and unfortunately though, I'm noticing a bit of a pest, or I don't think it's disease. I'm pretty sure what we've got here is a case of like thripes. I've been looking it up, but you can kind of see this white coloring and like the discoloring right there, and then the like telltale sign is in here. You can see some of the little orange bugs, and I've noticed that I think 1 and 2, this one's got it as well. I'm wondering if this is from the older bulbs that I used. I'm trying to decide what to do next with those, whether there's a way to treat them, or honestly I'm kind of thinking I might just pull them out, because if they were old bulbs anyway, maybe that was the issue, and so far a lot of the other ones seem to be doing pretty good. So we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted on that. The thing with gladiolas, which is kind of bittersweet, is that because they bloom, hi Beep, because they bloom at different times, like, some are coming into bloom and some are already spent. Really cool. Oh, she's going up on the roof. Beep, don't. What are you doing? Oh no. She's a roof girly. Beep. Alright, well, we'll see what she decides to do. On the one hand, it'd be nice if more of them were in bloom at the same time, but on the other hand, the fact that they bloom kind of, their blooms are kind of offset, means that the blooms last a lot longer. They start blooming and then they keep going for a while. Okay. I'm a little distracted with her. She does that a lot. All of these purple Leotris spicatas, same thing. You can see some have already bloomed, some are still blooming. Like this one looks like it's already bloomed. The bees and the pollinators just love those. I think the Leotris were part of a pollinator bulb, like a perennial bulb pack that we got at Costco a while ago. So those have been really nice. And you can see we've got more gladiolas to come. This one's looking pretty good. No sign of the thripes like on the other ones. There are a couple more. The dahlia is looking good, although it hasn't flowered yet. I think maybe we can see some signs of bulbs on the way, or buds on the way. But these do tend to flower into later in the fall, so makes sense that maybe they're not opening up just yet, and especially since we cut this one down a few times. If I hadn't cut it, it'd be quite taller already, but we cut it down a few times to help it grow more bushy instead of tall. Down here we've got some signs of chrysanthemums, I think, or asters. I'm not really seeing, oh, there's some more right there. We'll see, those normally were crazy huge, so maybe I'll have to take a look back on last year and see where they were at this time last year. But we do have some more over here in the ones I separated. So these are the kind of hot pink ones. The eucalyptus is putting on quite a bit of new growth here on the ends. It's got kind of an interesting shape at this point, and I'm thinking here, you know, maybe in the next year or so, we'll actually coppice these and cut them down, both of these, this one and the one that's over there. I'll show you in a little bit too, but I'm thinking that we might just cut it down close to the soil, and doing so will allow lots of new shoots like this to regrow from the base. And as I mentioned in the video last month, I think doing it like that will kind of give us a second chance at being able to shape and prune the new growth so that it grows into more of like a bush rather than this kind of awkward tree you see here. But for now there's no rush, so we're just letting it do what it is, and in the meantime I'm taking lots of cuttings from it for our vases inside. So pretty. Oh, no, let me go grab Luca, because he's, nope, going to the area where Beep likes to jump over the fence. How are you doing? Hey, hey. No. What are you doing? Yeah. Maybe let's go back over to the other area. How about that? Yeah. Luke has been a good little garden boy lately. He just comes out here on his harness, and he kind of just stays put. He finds a little place to sit, and then we'll just sit there for hours. He likes to sit here tucked away under those oak leaves. Maybe I'll add in a picture of him down there. Very cute. This is what the garden bed is looking like. Oh my gosh, it is so lush. Every year our tomato plants just get like so much bigger than we are prepared for. But they're doing amazing. These are like a Roma tomato, you can see. I don't think any of them are quite, well, they're not red yet. Kyle might have already picked a couple green ones to see if they'll ripen the rest of the way inside. Our pepper plants, we've got the Anaheim chili, some jalapenos. This might be another jalapeno as well. But yeah, they're all doing great. And then look at the cucumber. I mean, compared to where it was in the last video, even just like a month ago, it's crazy how big it's gotten. And you can see it is slowly but surely making its way up the arch. I don't know if it'll get kind of all the way over the top, but I mean, even in the last month, it's grown tremendously up this archway. We are periodically coming in and kind of maneuvering some of the vines to help it trellis up of, or grow up of this trellis. We've been using this green Velcro tape to encourage and attach some of the vines to kind of encourage it to grow along the trellis. I can't see any right now, but that is a really handy tool for stuff like this and for houseplants as well. But here, if we look inside, you can see there's a big one. It could probably be picked. A couple more small ones over there. Plenty more to come. So yeah, it's just doing awesome. The tomato, I mean, it's like overpowering the rest of that bed. So funny. Look at that girly. What are you doing? Beep. Hey. Hey. Yeah? Our blueberry, we actually kind of had a, oh my gosh, I just moved the camera right into the web of this spider. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'm trying to get a zoomed in, like, macro shot of this spider, but I can't get it to focus, so that little red dot, that's what it is. And I almost just destroyed its web, so gotta be more careful. I think we've figured out that this blueberry is a early fruiting variety. It was doing really well at the beginning of the summer. In June, And one day we came out and all of the fruits were gone. So I don't know if it was a bird or a rat, a mouse, I'm not sure, squirrels, but we've kind of learned this year that this one, the berries are like a white or like a light pink. So in the future we need to make sure we are picking them right away rather than waiting for them to turn blue, which they won't because that's not what those are. So yeah, it was not a good year for this blueberry plant in particular, but we're learning some things for next year that hopefully we'll be able to get a better harvest from it. These ones, this blueberry and that one there as well, you can see there's some fruit still coming on it, but I just don't think it's been a big blueberry year for us this year. We haven't really been harvesting as many as we normally do. One thing that I have noticed recently is that the pea plant wasn't looking the best. Okay, how do I do this so I avoid the spider web? I came out the other day and noticed how it's all kind of yellowing and drying up, and I was worried, especially because there's also like some white looking stuff on it, that maybe it's more of a mildew problem. Oh no, oh, I broke the web. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go over here. I'm going to talk more about the spiders later. I have some things to say. Anyway, you can see it just looks like it's kind of already dying back. And at first I was concerned that it was something we had done, but it sounds like peas in general are more of like a short-term crop, and so they do die off more quickly. But we're really happy with how it did. So far this year, I mean, you can see it grew up this trellis quite fast and quite tall. It's probably maybe like 5 feet tall. Oh my God. Beep. I thought you would just want to hang out in the garden with me. But she said, nope, you're boring. Oh. Okay, bye, Beep. Ooh, what are you doing? Anyway, this year we've definitely had much better luck with the peas, and although we didn't harvest maybe as many as we could have, like you can see here or there, this one maybe will be ready in the next day or so. But yeah, in general I'm really happy with how those turned out this year. And here we've got some green onion, and this is one of the pear trees. I'm still not seeing any fruit on it, but it seems to be doing okay. Same thing over here. This apple tree doesn't seem to have any fruit either, so maybe that's a for sure sign that it needs like a partner that it can pollinate with, because it just hasn't. It's been growing the last couple years, but it hasn't been fruiting. We've got some flowers in here along with the yarrow. These are some other flowers. I'm not sure what these will look like when they open up, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another pear. And this garden bed. I didn't really mention it, but we've been using this burlap cover over it for both of the beds because it's been so hot and sunny that really, and we get so much sun back here. This is facing south that way, north that way. We get a ton of sun, and so we've kind of just been keeping these covers up here most of the day so that the vegetables don't get too much sun, and they're thankfully still able to get as much as they need. Our shishito peppers are coming in nicely. Our basil plant is looking great. We were kind of worried because it was taking a little while to grow, but now it's growing nice and bushy again, so that's fantastic. I'll show you the eggplant first. This is an eggplant that our neighbor planted. I don't really eat eggplants, but I mean, I would guess that one's probably pretty close to ready. I mean, it's pretty big, but yeah, someone seems to be doing pretty good. The rosemary, as always, is looking nice, but unfortunately, we've been having some issues with our zucchini. Mostly that we noticed squash bugs on it a few weeks ago, and so since then we've just been involved in a kind of constant battle with the squash bugs. Oh, see, like right there. There's one right there. Look at it. Why? You have to like take these guys and put them in like soapy water to kill them, which I don't love to do. We've noticed those bugs all over the plant recently, and then also, let me see if I can find any. Oh, here are some. Let me show you. Right there. All those little red dots are eggs. That one laid them kind of far apart, which is unusual. Normally they're a lot closer together, but these we've been getting rid of with duct tape, like wrapped around your hand, sticky side out, and then you can use it to like get the eggs off that way. Oh, there's some more there, if you can see. Yeah. See, those ones are like a lot tighter together. But yeah, it's the first year we've ever had an issue with zucchini bug or squash bugs. Normally our zucchinis do really well. And I mean, so far it has been fruiting a lot. We have a ton of zucchini, but we definitely need to get back out here and do another round of just getting rid of the bugs and getting rid of as many eggs as we can. I think that's why the leaves are looking kind of sad compared to like the nice green ones. Oh my god, look at it. Get out of here. Alright, as we're making our way over here, this apple tree has got a few apples. We don't use any like pesticides or insecticides or anything, and so I think like a common issue when you grow apples organically is just like, how do you make sure the bugs aren't destroying the apples before you're able to get to them. So I don't think these are ready quite yet, but hopefully soon, and hopefully there will be some that we can actually enjoy before the bugs get to them. So heading over this way. Hi, Luca. What are you looking at? You looking at something? What? What? Oh. Is this scary? He's looking at the wire from my microphone. Is that what you're looking at? Whoa. Is this scary? He's a big scaredy guy. Ooh. You look so cute in your harness. You look cute in your harness. Oh, are you stuck? Here. Are you stuck? Did you get stuck? Oh no. How did you do that? Here. There you go. Alright. So over here, you will see the remnants of my michelada, which is one of my favorite drinks. This is a little watering area we have for the squirrels and the bugs. This is what it's looking like over here. You can see our mint is just going crazy. Oh, another little red spider. These spiders I'm noticing in a lot of places around the garden, which is great. Like, we love having them here to help the ecosystem and to eat other bugs. Love that. But the spider keeps building its web across this like walkway here, like to this chair. And I'm like, dude, how many times do I have to tell you, don't do that? Because I sit here. You can't build your web there. you gotta build it somewhere else. So like right now it's just here and it's great. But anyway, I think I'm gonna come through and cut a lot of this mint, maybe hang it and tie it together and dry it, you know, set it aside for future use. The eucalyptus is still coming in nicely. Our second little bout of strawberries are coming in. The shape of this one is a little off, but you can see we've got some more coming. But unfortunately, again, I think the rats are smelling them too when they start to fruit, because just yesterday I noticed another one here in the yard. So I don't really think that this jute fabric netting is really doing enough to keep them out. I mean, we also use it for shade, which in that sense it's great, but I've been thinking of some other options we can use to kind of cage the strawberries in and try and keep the rodents out so that we can actually enjoy some of these. But other than the fact that rats seem to be enjoying the fruit, the plants seem to be doing well, so that's good. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the pests that we've noticed around the garden so far this year. I've already touched on a couple, like the thrips in the gladiolus flowers and the squash bugs and the zucchini, but we've also noticed a lot of wasps this year. At the beginning of July, we noticed a couple wasp nests underneath the grill. We've since gotten rid of those and got a new cover for it. We're hoping that that'll help prevent any new nests from forming, but it's just wild. We've seen a lot more wasps this year. Wasps are here constantly drinking water, same with our bird bath in the front yard. Wasps are here all the time. I rarely see like bees or butterflies or other pollinators drinking out of these, but we've just had a ton of wasps so far this summer. So it's kind of interesting each year to take note of the different insects and bugs that we see in the yard, because in like the 4 years we've been gardening here, we've noticed like different bugs each year. Like for instance, last year I think we had a ton of grasshoppers and crickets. Some years we have a ton of spiders. This year really seems to be a ton of wasps, which is you know, unusual. There's always been wasps, but not as many as we've noticed this year. And like I said, this is also the first year we've had any sort of pest like the squash bugs or the thrips with the gladiolus flowers. And also it might be that it's just too early in the season, but so far the only spiders that I'm noticing in the garden are the little small red ones that I pointed out during the tour. And so it's just interesting to notice those things and to take note of them. Those are the types of things I will put in like the journal that where I'm writing my notes and stuff. I wonder if there's some sort of like cyclical pattern with insects, you know. I can't think of like a specific example right now, but I know there's types of bugs where it's like if something's happening in the ecosystem, then the next year these bugs will like be in abundance, and then the bugs that prey on them will have a really great time next year or something like that. So I'm wondering if there are connections between the grasshoppers and the crickets and the spiders and the wasps. But so far this year that's been kind of a challenge that we've identified. Thankfully the wasps aren't too bothersome when we're out here in the yard. I haven't had any problem with them biting or stinging. That hasn't been too much of a problem. But yeah, it's just something that we're going to have to keep an eye on and try to stay on top of. And yeah, again, just interesting to see how even things like insects and like the critters that are part of the ecosystem change each year. And one of the things Kyle and I have been doing is trying to research like what types of plants you can grow to deter certain bugs or encourage others to come. And Anyway, all of that is like part of the learning process and something that we're getting a lot of experience with this year. So once again, this is what the garden is looking like here at the end of July 2023. You can hear a scrub jay in the background. I feel like they're always here when I'm making videos. This is how things are looking. I'm pretty pleased with how well things are growing in, and we've got a few projects to work on, some things to research, like how to protect the strawberries. Oh, there's Bojangles. Do you see that kitty up there? Oh my goodness. I don't think I can zoom in. That's Bojangles. He's our friendly neighborhood kitty, and he's so sweet. Okay, tangent. But yes, we have some things we need to research, like what to do with the strawberries and the wasps and the squash bugs and the thrips. But you know, that's just part of the journey. So other than that, things are going really well, and I'm excited to see how things continue to grow in the next month. And until then, I hope you have a nice evening and a nice start to your August. Until I see you again, hope you take care. Thanks so much. Bye.